I know I already sent my Journey of the Wave Walker out, but I had to do one more thing. I just got done just a few minutes ago visiting our neighbor. And our neighbor's just a neat lady. She's got Alzheimer's and she doesn't remember much. And she doesn't even remember my name. She remembers who I am. I go in and I usually visit with her. Gail does too, but this today I was doing it and make sure her dog has food and water. And and then when we get done visiting, I read to her a story, and I wanted to read you this story. And this is the story. It's called "A Tale of Three Trees," and it's retold by Angela Ellen Hunt, illustrated by Tim Jonke. I can't. I'm sure I didn't get that name right, but I want to read to you. I want to show you the pictures because I shared this to my friend next door, and just to show her the pictures. So this is a tale of three trees, and there is the first picture. See the three trees there. Once upon a mountaintop, three trees stood and dreamed of what they wanted to become when they grew up. The first little tree looked at the stars twinkling like diamonds above him and said, I want to hold treasure. I will be covered with gold and filled with precious stones. I'll be the most treasure chest. I'll be the most beautiful treasure chest in the whole world. That's what the first tree wanted to be, a beautiful treasure chest. No, there's another picture of the three trees, right? The second tree looked out at the small stream tinkling on by the way to the ocean. I want to be a strong sailing ship, he said. I want to travel mighty waters and carry powerful kings. I will be the strongest ship in the world. The third little tree looked down into the valley below where the busy men and women worked in busy towns. I don't want to leave the mountaintop at all, she said. I just want to grow so tall that when people stop to look at me, they'll raise their eyes to the heaven and think of God. I will be the tallest tree in the world. Oh, look at that. Oh, three guys with axes. Years passed. The rains came. The sun shone, and the little trees grew tall. One day, three woodcutters climbed the mountain. Oh, ooh. The first woodcutter looked at the first tree and said, This tree is beautiful. It'll be perfect for me. With a swoop of his shiny axe, the first tree fell. Now I'll be made into a beautiful chest, thought the first tree. I will hold wonderful treasure. The second woodcutter looked at the second tree and said, This tree is strong. It's perfect for me. And with a swoop of his shiny axe, the second tree fell. Now I shall sail the mighty sails, waters, thought the second tree. I will be a strong ship fit for kings. The third tree fell, her heart sank. When the last woodcutter looked at her and she stood straight and tall and pointed bravely to the heavens. But the woodcutter never even looked up. Any tree will do for me, he muttered, and with a swoop of his shiny axe, the third tree fell. Oh, wait a minute. The first tree rejoiced when the woodcutter brought him to a carpenter's shop from the busy carpenter, but the busy carpenter was not thinking about a treasure chest. Instead, the woodcutter's worn hands fashioned the tree into a feed box for animals. The once beautiful tree was not covered with gold or filled with treasure. It was coated with sawdust and filled with hay for hungry farm animals. The second tree smiled when the woodcutter took him to a shipyard, But no mighty sailing ships were being made that day. Instead, the once strong tree was hammered and sawed into a simple fishing boat. Too small, too weak to sail an ocean or even a river, it was taken to a little lake, and every day he brought in loads of dead, smelly fish. Mm. The third tree was confused when the woodcutter cut her into strong beams and left her in a lumber yard. What happened? The once tall tree wondered. All I ever wanted to do was stay on the mountaintop and point to God. Many days and many nights passed, and the three trees nearly forgot their dreams. But one night, a golden starlight poured over the first tree as a young woman placed her newborn baby in the feed box. I wish I could make a cradle for him, her husband said. I wish I could have made a cradle for him. The mother squeezed the hand and smiled as starlight shone on the smooth, sturdy wood. The manger is beautiful, she said. And suddenly the first tree knew he was holding the greatest treasure in the world. That picture. One evening, the tired traveler and his friends crowded into an old fishing boat. The traveler fell asleep, and the second tree quietly sailed out to the lake. But a thundering and thrashing storm rose. The little tree shuddered. He knew he didn't have the strength to carry many passengers safely through the wind and storm. The tire man awakened. He stood up, stretched his hands, and said, "Peace!" And the storm stopped as quickly as it began. And suddenly the second tree knew he was carrying the king of heaven and earth. Probably saw this coming. One Friday morning, the third tree startled when its beams were being yanked from the forgotten woodpile. She flinched as she was carried through an angry, jeering crowd. She shuddered when the soldier nailed a man's hand to her. She felt ugly, harsh, and cruel. But Sunday morning, when the sun rose and the earth trembled with joy beneath her, the third tree knew that God's love changed everything. It made the first tree beautiful. It made the second tree strong. And every time people thought of the third tree, they would think of God. That was better than being the tallest tree in the world. I had to share this. Have a good Friday.